Welcome to State of Prime. It's time to prime the mind, body, and spirit so that you can always stay in a state of prime. Let's get primed.
Welcome back to State of Prime, guys. Today we're simply going to talk about something that is a mix between mentally and spiritually staying primed. And it's simply this: do you emulate or follow someone? Here's what I mean. Everything that you follow, not even follow, that you are, has come from someone else. That is a fact. From the language you speak into the device you're using to how you see things. For the most part, it's come from someone else. Not everything. Some things can be from your personal experience, which is great. But what I want to dive into is, should you follow someone or emulate them? And just from my personal experience where I'm currently at, guys, there's many people that I look up to. When I say look up to, I don't mean as they're better than, but I look up to what they've done, how they see things, and whatnot. But I don't want to be them. I don't want to do everything they do. And what I've learned is that's okay. Whether it's a religious aspect, a physical, a financial, whatever the case is, there's no one exactly that I want to be like. There's certain parts that I want to emulate and incorporate into my character and who I am, right? As far as the outside, you can't really change the inside as far as who you already are. You can't change that. What I'm speaking about specifically is your character, your mindset, and the earthly realm of your being, right? Which is a fact. I mean, your physical, your financial, your mental, these are all practical things, and this applies to this reality system that we live in. You know, someone who is overly spiritual, and when I say overly, meaning they disregard the physical and the mental, that's not a person that I want to emulate, because they're not given the, I'm not gonna say earthly realm. Well, I guess you could say, for practical purposes, the earthly realm, the importance that it deserves. Like, you are here. You need water and food to subsist. You need air. These are all components of your existence. You know, I like to look at it as a circle that has moving parts that overall is one big circle. And the spiritual aspect of who you are, the purpose that drives you, the inner world is a huge aspect to who you are, but the outside is just as important. It's like a car. You know, the wheels, I feel like, are the physical aspect of our being, right? The wheels, you got the the outside, like the windows and whatnot. That's the physical, and then you have the engine, which essentially runs the vehicle. This is your purpose, your spiritual. But guess what? It's all one car. I feel like we get to comparing and contrasting things, and at the end of the day, it's still one. You're still one being. You know, everything plays a part. Your feet is not better than your hands. Your head is not better than your legs. It's all one. And so, to bring it back to our point for today, guys, to help us stay primed, it's simply this. This is something that I've been not ruminating, but I guess you could say I've been pondering, in that I will not be like anyone else. You know, there's people like, here's a specific example. I don't know if you've heard of Andrew Tate, but if you have, look him up. There's certain things that he has shared that's controversial, right, to mainstream, and that's okay. Some of these things I agree with. Some of these things I actually go about how I go about things. But the biggest thing is that I don't want to be like him, nor do I want to take on everything and how he sees things. I don't need to. The reason being is, I don't have to be like anyone else. I can incorporate and emulate certain aspects of people, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be me. And experience is the greatest teacher, guys. If you are following anyone based on the ideology that they present, even if it does resonate with you, right? If you follow them and then you try to be like them and do everything that they do, from how they eat, their routine, how they see things, guess what? You're not being yourself. Everything that the conglomeration that person is, has come from everything, whether them, emulating other people, but also their experience. So the point is, Don't try to follow and be like anyone else. Yes, emulate certain aspects of of what you like within them, certain things that resonate with you, but be yourself. When I say be yourself, meaning incorporate what you like about them. Incorporate it into your character, into your methodology, your routines. Incorporate it. Ben Greenfield, he's another person that, the physical aspect of things that he shares. He's a what you would call a not biooptimizer, but a biohacker, I guess you could say. He's just really deep and granular in things physical health, and I follow him, right? Not follow him for like everything else he does, but for what he shared in that regard. And yes, I take everything else and how he does things into respect, but I'm not following him to be him. I'm just learning from him because of his experience and what he shared. So you're going to have all these people in your life, guys, whether it's a religious aspect. Stephen Furtick is another one as far as our family. We go to a Christianity church, right? At least that's what it's based in. But I don't have to see things exactly the way that they see it in order to extrapolate a lesson. You see what I mean? You don't have to be nor see things like how someone else sees it to learn something. And in order to see something that someone's sharing, you don't have to believe everything they believe. We are all unique, diverse, beautiful rainbows, okay? And you don't have to see, like, the way I go about things, I promise you, if I was to lay it all out right now, you wouldn't agree with all of it. And that's okay. Because guess what? You're here because we have something in common. We want to stay primed mentally, physically, and spiritually. But I'm not telling you how to stay primed. I'm simply sharing what has worked for me and what I'm doing. So to conclude today's episode and solidify it into something tangible, moving forward, don't follow nobody. 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 Learn from them. Emulate. Incorporate. But don't be a follower. Let your own light from within shine brightly. Let that illuminate your surrounding and the people around you. Let your light meld with other people's light and see how it comes together and what color that creates, and then incorporate and even learn from it. But do not dim the light within you to follow someone else's light. You're not a follower. You're a creator, first and foremost. You're creating this moment. And when I say you're creating this moment, I'm not saying that you are the single island, but you are a no, you know what? It's like a series of islands. It's like Japan or the Philippines, it's thousands of islands that make up this mass, this area. You're an island, but not an island amongst yourself. You're an aspect. And so just, for whatever that's worth, guys, that just came out of nowhere. That came from the heart. Be yourself. Learn from those around you, but don't emulate. So let's say something resonates with you that this person has said. That doesn't mean you now have to follow everything they do, how they see things, how they go about things. No. You can incorporate what resonates, but you do not have to be a follower. I like that. I guess that's what we'll conclude today's episode with. You can incorporate what resonates, but you don't have to follow everything that person does. With that, my fellow primer, continue to stay primed. Continue to stay primed because it's a process. And we're on this journey together. Until the next one, stay primed.